Let's go down to the field. Here again is Mark Breidinger.
Stan, Matt Burdick's third field goal of the day gives the Deeks a nice 24-3 lead. Let's remember, he's dedicating this season to his late brother Brian, who passed away with leukemia, and he's got that black armband on his left arm. Great job today, Matt Burdick, senior kicker.
Matt Burdick, with those field goals, now has 49 for his career as the Deacons travel 19 yards.
Matthew Burdick will be the second most productive kicker in Wake Forest history at season's end. As this season begins, Burdick, a senior who shares the Deacon record for longest field goal ever at 53 yards, is anxious for his final go-round.
It's nice for all of us seniors. We got 27 of us. We're all looking forward to gelling and molding and hopefully getting that one season we've been hoping for. And if I can do my part, I'll be happy.
2 years ago, Burdick beat NC State in the final seconds of a nationally televised game at Grove Stadium. He hopes that won't be all fans remember him for.
I'd like them to see me as a good individual in the first place and someone that helped the team, maybe won in a few clutch situations, and someone that they could depend on as a fans and as watching the games. It's just someone they wanted to get 3 points, someone they cheered for.
Well, early on in this football game, there's a pattern that's emerging defensively for Army, and they're not only bringing linebackers, but they're bringing guys off the edge and the corners. And I think Army wants to try to rattle the young quarterback.
Matt Burdick tries a field goal, 35 yards. He puts it up and through, and Wake is on the board. 4:50 remaining first quarter, and Wake Forest has stuck its nose in front of Army. It's Wake Forest 3 and Army nothing. And the Vice President of Field Operations is Andrea Jenkins. So they're going to put 3 more up here, ostensibly. And Burnett's try is up and good. And that will make it a 34-15 ball game with only 24 seconds remaining to be played. Now these two teams last hooked up in 1994.
As the clock continues to wind down, Brian Ray on the tackle there. Tell you what, not only has Thomas Jones had a great evening, but if you're a defender, he's your best friend.
Rather short attempt, should be a chip shot for Matthew Burdick. The senior, though, who was a Groza semifinalist 1 year ago, has struggled at 4 of 9 this year. This sets up to be a 25-yard field goal attempt, and it is good. And Wake Forest leads after the turnover by Ron Dugans by a score of 3-0. So Burdick makes sure to get that one through the uprights. They have been having weekly kickoffs, and I mean place kicker kickoffs for the field goal job, and the senior able to get Wake Forest on the board 3-0. 12-19 remains in the first.
Wake hosts Clemson, both teams having good years, both in line for possible postseason action. But if this game is tight late, I like Wake's chances. Ken Devaney shows you why.
With his next kick, Wake Forest senior Matthew Burdick will become the school's career leader in field goal.
Maybe after my sophomore year, I looked at the record book and thought, hey, I could do this.
Burdick has 37 field goals to his credit, matching the total of Wilson Hoyle, who kicked for Wake from 1986 through 89.
It's something I'll look back on and be happy about. I'm sure right now I'm more worried about keeping my job and helping this team as I can.
You don't run into people very often quite like Matt Burdick. He's special individual. I'm certainly glad that he's going to have an opportunity to break the school record.
Matt, the school record and all, I mean, that's really great, but in order to stand out as an athlete, you've got to be able to do something unique.
Unique? You want something unique? I'll show you something unique. Tiger who?
Tiger Burdick in Winston. Ken Devaney, ABC 45 Sports.
That's why he's the man, and we're talking, of course, about Matt, not Ken.
I've seen people do that with a soccer ball, but never with a football.
Oh, no,
that's
amazing.
Incredible.
He's incredible, isn't he?
And here's Matthew Burdick. Chance to put Wake Forest on top. Senior from Winston-Salem. This will be a 23-yard kick. Dead even out of the hold of Jimmy Caldwell, son of the coach. The kick is good. And Wake Forest has something to show for a long 8-minute march that started at their own 20-yard line.
Clemson has something to show, too.
Yeah.
That you can't knock them out of the box.
Exactly. We'll be back after this message from your local ACC station.
Watch the only one.
3 days, Wake Forest's freshmen are the big men on campus. No veterans in camp until Sunday, but as Craig Bell reports, they're in for a stiff learning curve.
All right, got it? Now the clock starts now when you pick up your hand.
Welcome to Football 101 for these Deacon freshmen. A day of testing, complete with running, jumping, and some agilities. It's also a day for coaches to evaluate.
What we do is try to get a real baseline on them, try to test them in the 40 and the 10-yard dash and the 20, and do some agilities with them as well.
The first day of football camp for young players is always nerve-wracking. They want to make the good first impression, and no one understands that better than Wake Forest place kicker Matthew Burdick. He remembers his freshman camp.
Well, you want to impress everybody because you read about what the other recruits are doing. You want to show them how quick you are, how fast you are.
Freshman camp is just that. It's a camp for freshmen only. It gives the freshmen a chance to get to know their coaches, to learn more about their routine, and to also learn and ask any and all questions related to football. But Matthew says it's more than that. It's a chance for the freshmen to develop that freshman bond.
As a freshman, it's really tough coming in. You don't have too many people to identify with. You need these 4 days, 3-4 days to get close with your roommates or your buddies around here.
Matthew also notes a subtle change in coaches.
Coach is real nice. They love you. They're wanting to dine you the first 3-4 days. But as soon as those big guys get here, where did that nice guy go?
But he recalls Coach Caldwell's words of inspiration.
Hang in there. Hang in there. Don't worry about it. He told. I think he preached to the parents. They're going to call you. They're going to be upset. They're going to want to leave. Just tell them to hang in there.
Sounds like Matthew knows best. Craig Bell.